Hi everyone, welcome to the microservices project series. Okay, so let's start our video with the great real world example. Okay, where I'm gonna show you why Swagger is the most important microservices topic and why every developer should learn before entering into the firm, before entering, before starting their corporate life. Okay, fine. Now the catch point is the real world example is about you only. Suppose, just listen to me. Suppose this is you, okay, and you are already working in a company, let's say ABC company, but you don't know anything about Swagger. Let's see what happens. Okay, fine, interesting. 3, 2, 1, let's start. So this is you, any user, okay, developer, fine, and you're working in a company, ABC, whatever, and you don't know anything about Swagger, fine. Now, client, okay, so let's say this is the client, and client wants to, you know, client wants you to develop a application, fine. Let's say user management application, okay, and then the requirement of the clients are simple, that the application, Spring Boot application, should contain 4 REST APIs, okay, simple CRUD operations, so can able to create the user, okay, and update user, then get user, okay, by ID or by email, whatever, and delete user. Okay, fine. So these 4 APIs, and yeah, that's it. So you might be thinking, so easy, like what's big deal in it? We have built so many projects. I'm already working in a company, so just creating a Spring Boot application and 4 APIs is very much easy. Fine, okay. So you started the work and then you have build application. Fine, you have built the application already. This is your let's say user management application. Okay, fine, Spring Boot app, and it's working fine. All the APIs working fine. Okay. Now client asks you that he wants to test the application from his side. Okay, so the client, where is my client? Okay, fine. So this is the client and this is you, okay, user, developer, okay, developer, fine. So the developer job has done. He thinks that his job is done. Okay, fine. Now client wants that I want to test the application. Okay, so the first thing is, okay, that you'll just show him like, okay, it's working fine from the Postman. Okay, from the Postman you have tested all the APIs. Okay, fine. But client don't want that. Client want uh, a proper documentation. Okay, just like client want proper documentation that all the APIs, like which contain all the APIs, and with the, you know, what are the fields you are taking, okay, in registering the user, like everything what you have built in the UI format that client can understand, so that he can test, just like UI. Okay, just like UI, when we open that, so in the UI sign up login, just like that, but not UI, just like that, client want a documentation of your complete application in the format that client understand. Okay, so so you might be thinking, okay, fine, I can prepare the document. The first every person thinks that, let me open the MS Word, Microsoft Word, and let me prepare a proper document that this is the API, create API, okay, which is taking the user object, okay, and user have to enter first name, last name, this is what the fields, okay. The second is delete API, so once user click on the delete, so it is taking just ID, and once click on the, you know, delete, got deleted. So the complete document, Word document. But there might be further changes. Suppose this is what the first build 1.0.0. Okay, now client just, you have created the document and submitted to the client. Now client have seen, okay, fine. So these are the changes you need to again make in the application. Fine. The next build is 1.0.1, 1.0.2. Okay. Till suppose, till the final application, there are suppose 20 builds. Okay. So for all those changes, you need to update the document because you need to submit the document to the client, the updated one. Okay. Fine. Very hectic. Super hectic. Okay, like you are making the changes, then you are making the changes in the document and then submitting to the client. Client is seeing because client only able to understand the document, not this coding part. Okay, fine. But still one part is remaining, that he can't able to test live testing. Okay, or I can say client side testing. Fine. And the hectic from your side, developer side also. So one day you might be thinking that is it not possible that someone will host, it's not a hosting Google Cloud, Azure, AWS, no, someone will give me a URL. Now the developer is frustrated and he thinks someone will give me a URL. Okay, once I'll run my application localhost 8080 whatever. So and once while I'll hit that URL, let's say so localhost 8080, and I'll hit whatever .html. Okay, once I'll hit that URL, then a complete page opens in where all the APIs, what all the APIs you have just, like the 4 APIs, so create, update, read, fine, and delete APIs. Okay, and whatever, like you have just built this, MS Word document. Okay, so everything already present there. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. Fine. So just you are thinking that once I'll run my application, so someone will give me that URL automatically. Okay, by some magic, everything got documented, and that too in the terminologies that client understand. Plus whatever DTOs, whatever fields you need to register, like whatever client need, so that okay, the client side testing can be possible. Client happy. Plus, suppose other developers also can, you know, test it out or see like whatever what all APIs you have just created there for other developers, for managers, for client side. Okay, so the complete documentation of your, I'm again saying the complete documentation of your REST API. Okay, and it is possible with the what? Swagger. Okay, Swagger. Now you might be thinking that like out of 2 out of 1000 might be thinking that is it a replacement for Postman? No, no, never. See, Swagger is used for exploration, basic, okay, client-side testing, and mainly the documentation of REST API. But Postman is for the serious testing and development workflows. Fine. Okay, fine. So this is what the Swagger. Just mark my words, before deploying any application, please kindly add the Swagger dependency, which I'm gonna show you in coming few seconds next after this. Okay, got it? Let's move to our coding part. I've already built this application and let me show you. Okay, fine. So let's go to my Eclipse editor. Okay. Okay, so here's our application, the user management. Let me zoom it a little bit. Okay, what client want us, we developers, to create it. Okay, fine. So the 4 APIs, obviously, CRUD operations: create, get user, create user, update user, and delete user. Fine, nothing big deal. A simple application with CRUD operations. Okay, so let me show you what the user entity. Okay, ID, first name, last name, email, password, created at and updated at. Okay, and user DTO, all the fields except password. Okay, you should not include the password in the DTO. And the user repository plus the service class. Okay, nothing big deal. Plus I'm using the PostgreSQL. You can see Docker is running. Okay, up and running. Fine. Now we discussed that the developer thinks that is there any URL, okay, so that once I'll run my application at the runtime, okay, runtime, the API documentation generated. Okay, for that we need to set up few things, just one thing, need to add the dependency, and that's all. Automatically everything generates. Okay, so for that let me take you to my web browser. Okay, see, the most important second phase is going on. Please pay attention. Swagger is most important part of the microservices you should know before entering into any firm. Okay, before entering to your corporate life. Okay, before deploying any application to the productions. Fine, the most important part. Okay, so let's go to my browser, okay, Chrome, and just type here springdoc.org. okay, springdoc.org. You can see open API and Spring Boot. Fine. So now I want you to have focus on here, and you can see Spring Doc Open API Java library helps to automate the generation of API documentation. Can you see? Automate the generation of API documentation. Okay, fine. The next is using Spring Boot projects. Okay, Spring Doc Open API works by examine and application at runtime to infer API semantic based on Spring configuration, class structure, and various annotation. Okay, and here one more line, that is automatically generates documentation in JSON, YAML, and HTML format APIs. Okay, automatically generates documentation. What we're gonna do is, the next step is, fine, see, docs tells you everything. So springdoc.org, fine, hit enter, comes here, just go to the docs and scroll down the second topic getting started, and you'll see one library, okay, dependency, that is Spring Doc Open API hyphen starter and web MVC UI provides the interactive UI for the entire documentation. Okay, what you need to do is just copy and just go to your come here in the pom.xml and paste it. So scroll down, okay, let me paste it here. Okay, let me format and save it. Fine, let it build. Okay, and yeah, already shown you my user entity. So ID, first name, last name, email, password, created at and updated at. Okay, and the user DTO, first name, last name, email, created and updated. Okay, without password every fields, you should not include the password in the DTOs. Fine, yeah, everything else. So now let me run our application. Okay, and I want your focus on my console. Okay, there only we'll get the URL. Okay, so obviously it's running on the port 8080. Yeah, let's wait for few seconds. Okay, and okay, yeah, can you see the first line is started application. Okay, the second line is spring doc slash v3 API docs endpoint is enabled by default. Okay, the third is the important one, that is what we want, spring doc slash swagger hyphen UI dot html. This is the page automatically generated our documented APIs. Endpoint is enabled by default, and to disable it you need to set the property spring doc swagger UI enable dot equals false. Okay, in production. Fine. So let me just copy this, and again let's go to our browser localhost. Okay, fine. And what we copied is swagger UI.html. Fine. Let me refresh it. Okay, yeah, this is what at runtime automatically generated document swagger. Okay, now see, this is just a 20%. A swagger has its own annotations where we can, configure, edit whatever these controllers, these schemas in such a way that clients can understand, other users, managers, other developers can understand. Okay, see, swagger is itself a chapter. Fine, and I'm gonna explain you. Fine, make you feel. Right, till now, yeah. And yeah, one more thing, if you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe my channel. Okay, I need your support so to reach 5k subscribers. Okay, let's start. Let's see. So you can see user controller. Okay, and it is giving me all the 4 APIs that what we have created. Definitely. So URL pattern is API users. Okay, and the request body is, see, entire user, right? So the request body is for the put entire user. Okay, so that is what first name, last name, email, password, created at, updated at. Okay, and the response is 200. Fine, example value. See, we can also edit the response with the annotation provided by swagger. Okay, we'll see. And post similarly. So let's try one. Okay, so let's try to get the user. See, I haven't created any user. My database is empty. Fine, so let's try to get the any user. So what we need to do is, so there are these force, just like a button. Click on this, and there is here button on the right top, try it out. Okay, click on here. So all the fields got editable. Fine, so I'm getting via email. Okay, so get user by email. Let me provide a random email. Let's say my email at gmail.com. Execute. So it executing in the backend. Okay, where we this code. Can you see this? So I got an error, obviously user not found, because there is nothing in the database is empty. Okay, so here once executing, can you see 500 error response, and yeah, user not found. This is what the message is coming from my service, because I have, yeah, get user. So user repository find by email, or else throw user not found. Okay, so definitely because database is completely empty. Okay, fine. Now one error, not one error, there's one problem. Let me just explain you, but first, before, let's try all these. Okay, so let me create a user, try it out, and yeah, got editable. The user request body is entire user. So let me first remove this ID because it is auto generated by database, no need. And first name, okay, last name is email, okay, password is, that's it. And yeah, so let me execute it. Okay, executed, and fine, the response is 201. Okay, and this is what the I'm returning the DTO. Okay, I'm returning the DTO. So can you see insert into users what we inserted, and I'm returning the DTO. So the DTO I'm getting here. Okay, the ID for first name whatever I have just given. That's it. Now let me get the user. So get by email. Okay, this is what I have just. Okay, fine. Execute. See, I got it. Now I'm got it 200. Okay, if whatever so there, no, user not found. Yeah, so fine, we can test it out. No, don't think it is a replacement of Postman. Okay, I already told you for the documentation client side, that is for the development workflows and serious testing. Okay, fine. Now the problem is still client, okay, fail to understand because there are the technical terms introduced like user controller. Okay, controller, fine, and API users, and also suppose I'm let me refresh it. Okay, so suppose here client wants to create a user, so click on the post, and here everything is coming as string. Okay, but I want is, let's say, a dummy data, dummy email, dummy first name, last name, whatever. So this is what. Also, I forget one thing. There is after this, API controller, there is a schema also. It is showing us. So there are two schemas, user entity. Okay, these are the fields and data types. You can see created at, updated at, date time, all the string and integer 64 plus DTO. Okay, so everything it is automatically generated. Fine, but user DTO, okay, Pojo classes, user entity, so these are the technical terms, and we should not want to reveal these terms to the client or whoever. So what we want is, we want to just create a proper documentation. Also, suppose we want to add something here. This application is about what? A title, a description. Then so here comes the Swagger annotations comes in the picture. Okay, we need to add manually. We can add, fine. This is our application. So here on the controller and on the application, we can manually write the title, description, whatever. Okay, and columns and everything else. Okay, version, everything else. Okay, fine, so let's do it. Okay, yeah, definitely. So what we can do, because we want to prepare a proper documentation. Okay, fine, let's do it. So let's start with our main application, title, description and everything else. Okay, so here let me little zoom it. So the annotations we need to start with, that is open API definition. Okay, open API definition, you can just see in the package io.swagger.v3 OAS annotations open API definitions, because we are using the open API to describe, okay, and give the information about our apps. Fine. Okay, open API definition, and then okay, so first we need to give the info. Okay, so info, fine, and there is one more annotation, that is at info. Okay, in that the first thing is, okay, let's give the name, okay, or title. Fine, so title of our application is user management application or microservices project. Okay, fine. Also description, so description is, let's say, user management project with CRUD operations. Okay, any description you'll give. Fine. Then next is what? version. Okay, you can just give version, let's say 1.0.0. okay, and then contact information obviously. So contact, so we have one more annotations, that is contact. Okay, why? Because the contact information can have multiple fields. Okay, so the person name to contact, fine. So let's say my name, who has developed this application. Okay, and email, fine, so at gmail.com. okay, and then any URL, fine, suppose URL, okay, whatever URL your xyz, so let's say .com. okay, fine. So this is what, and also licensing, fine. So license have the annotations license because have the multiple fields. Okay, like your REST APIs, the application you have built, user management. So the REST APIs is free to use or any license. Okay, what license using? So the name, let's say Apache maybe 2.0. okay, and URL, okay, so whatever URL, fine, you can just go the contact person URL, fine. So this is what inside the info. Can you see info? Inside the info, title, description, version, contact license. Also, suppose if we want the external or client wants additional information, okay, additional documentation, okay, for accessing or to know more about this project, so we can also display the information of our external documentation, okay, docs. So for that, let's get out of the info and external docs. Okay, we have the annotation external documentation. Okay, and so the description. Okay, so additional documentation. Okay, for user management project, and okay, fine, I have saved it. And you can also give the URL. Okay, and whatever URL is, like add additional whatever, okay, .com, fine. So this is what our info part, to display the application is about what. Okay, I already saved it. Now let me go to my here. Now here you can see just a simple, you can see open API definition, and okay, let me refresh this. Can you see? One second, spelling mistake. Okay, and here too. Management. Okay, so let me refresh it, and wow, now looks good. Okay, suppose client opens, okay, user management microservices project, fine, version is 1.0.0 currently. Okay, and user, this is a description, this is the website, and sell email to, okay, the contact information, licensing, okay, and the additional documentation for this. Can you see, like, the entire information? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah, so this is what, now it looks good. Okay, fine, this is the documentation we can add, and we should know the Swagger concept, so that before deploying our application we can add. Okay, suppose the client asks us to get the documentation, so yeah, it's our job to code the thing with the Swagger, so that the client is happy. If the client is happy, you too happy, and the company is happy, your salary is happy. Okay, fine. So that's all. What about the initial step, the first step? Fine, the description, title. Okay, now the second thing is, okay, this is what you did, fine, very well. What about these controllers? Also technical terms? Yeah, no worries, let's do it. So our user controller, okay, let's start. Fine. So now here, just over the controller, Okay, there is one more annotation, that is add tag. Okay, same in the Swagger package, and in that we can just write same thing. Okay, so name. Okay, so the name is user management CRUD operation. Okay, fine. And you can just also write the description. So this, the description is, okay, user management, okay, controller, okay, to create, delete, read and update the user. Okay, yeah, so let me save it. Fine, I have saved. Okay, and let me go back to my, and here now you can see currently it is user controller. Okay, nothing, just the user controller. And yeah, can you see a beautiful title, user management CRUD operation, okay, operations, and the description, user management controller to create, delete, read and update the user. Fine. Okay, next thing is our APIs. Okay, because client don't know what this API is, like a brief description. Okay, so suppose create user. Okay, I'm gonna just show you one or two. Okay, the same thing, copy paste and change the data content, same thing for all. Okay, yeah, so operations, see these are the operations. Okay, so as the name indicating, add operation. Okay, fine. And then here the summary. Okay, summary, so create user REST API. Okay, and description is responsible to create the user. Okay, API responsible to create the user. Fine, yeah, so save it. Okay, and once built, let me refresh this. Okay, fine, yeah, can you see now post request have this summary, create user REST API, and once I'll open, API responsible to create the user. Okay, same thing you can just do at your own, it's your homework, and also comment it down if you have done. Okay, once done, that for the post get delete. Okay, now the next is schema. Also I want to populate here a dummy data, so that client should not have to explicitly that manually entered here. Okay, like string, it is a by default, but manually, so that is important one. Okay, yeah, one more thing for the error. Okay, so here there might be a case where it is already um, for all the cases returns 200. Okay, the response code. So for that also we have one annotations. Okay, at API response. Okay, and we can manually set response okay, response typo, response code. Okay, so created 201, and yeah, description, user created successfully. Okay, yeah, fine. You can just copy and paste it for the other APIs. Just replace, edit, modify the content. Okay, you know very well, we developers are very good in copy paste. Okay, fine. Now next thing is the schema. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so the next is our user ET. Okay, so let me show you. Mm, okay, so again technical terms, plus there is no any default data, so let me reset it. Okay, string, Fine, no default data. Okay, and we don't want let client to be frustrated. Okay, fine. So let's do it. Schema. Okay, fine. First user. Okay, user entity, and as a name indicating that schema at schema. Okay, Swagger package. You just okay, and same thing contains the name user. Okay, and description. Okay, and the description is holds user information. Okay, anything, any description, fine. Now for the fields there is no any other annotations, same schema. Okay, so just here first name, so at schema. Okay, and then same thing, so let's keep the name as same and the description plus example data. Description is user first name example. Okay, example, fine. So let's say example is my name only, Yashendra. Same thing, same thing for last name, so users last name, and let's say same thing for the email, so user email address and at gmail.com. Okay, so just like this, fine, done. And let's go there. Okay, so same thing for in case of DTO schema. Okay, nothing else, annotation schema. Let me refresh this. Okay, so yeah, can you see user, we have just given the user. Okay, and this is the description holds user information. Okay, fine. So can you see initially it was just the first name last name, and now we have this example Yashendra D, email is that, and also once we'll refresh this, and in case of post, can you just scroll zoom it? Yeah, can you see first name, the dummy data fit here in the first name last name email field. Okay, yes or no? Yes or no? Did you get the concept or no? Easy? Super easy. And this is what I call as a perfect documentation. Perfect documentation. Okay, so initially it is user management project title, okay, and description, any website, your contact information, your the application project version, okay, and licensing plus additional documentation if you have. Okay, then the controller proper title description, okay, describing the controller, okay, and then the APIs level, okay, operations API response, okay, yeah, API response we can control, fine. Then all the schemas responsible, so user, okay, we have given the name user only, okay, then the description, and now come to the much deeper, that is the field level. Okay, so default fields, okay, and dummy data, fine, so that client opens it and okay, dummy data, just hit the try it out and hit the execute, because dummy data already we have just set it, okay, and he can see either it is successfully created or not. Okay, fine. So this is what all about. Okay, and I'm not saying the 100% we have covered, okay, but yeah, most of the things we have covered. Title, okay, main application info, controllers all go okay, controllers, everything goes same. APIs, API level, okay, API response operations at tag and the schema plus the dummy fields data? Yes or no? Fine. That's all for the video. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll update you in our community. Okay. And yeah, please make sure you subscribe my channel. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.